Hello and welcome back to my channel. Professor Mahmoodian is here. I'd like to run a lesson to train everybody to know what are the important components in communication. There are some terms that everybody needs to be aware of and assess and analyze when you're communicating with someone in presentation as well as in writing. Professional communication depends on which channel you're planning to communicate through. The channel is defined as the medium used to distribute communication from sender to receiver. Basically, when you encode a message for someone or the audience to decode the message, that channel is important. This could be a memo, email, phone call, face-to-face communication, which is considered as 90% of body language communication, which is extremely important, or any other platform that you select to converse or to communicate. You need to select your channel carefully. Your task is to identify if this channel is proper for communication. If it is an important communication to be done through text message or email, might not be as effective as through face-to-face or the phone call. Communication building blocks are the second important element. There are 4 building blocks of communication, 4 pillars upon which successful communication might happen. The first one is people, the message, the context, and the effective listening. The context is referring to the location and the timing and the nature of the relationships that affect communication event. So remember, all these 4 important pillars will definitely help you to have effective dynamic communication. If one pillar is missing, then your communication is not properly and professionally done. Listening is one of the most important elements and one of the most important pillars. The final element is listening. It must be overlooked. Listening is a component of one of those components of 4 building blocks of communication. Effective listening is more than just hearing something. It separates good communicator and excellent communicator. To be an amazing communicator, you need to have excellent listening skills. You must not use only your ears, but your eyes to communicate and your heart to communicate. Basically, you need to be empathetic and put yourself in the shoe of your listeners and see what exactly they might expect to understand. The message that you're communicating is considered as the ideas or the information that is transmitted between a sender and the receiver. You need to make sure the message that you encode is exactly understood as you expected it to be by the audience, that they receive the message and encode and decode the message. So it is much more just words that are spoken and written when you're creating a message. The message includes nonverbal cues and your tone of voice. Pause, don't rush in your presentation, as well as your writing. Make sure your writing content is punctuated perfectly well, which is considered as the emotion of the message that you encode. The people are considered as a group of audience. Could be an individual, could be a group of people. So individual or individual on the other side of the communication event, you need to understand that what exactly you need to create for that specific group of audience to comprehend. I wouldn't communicate with a group of lower educated, for example, crowd, or I wouldn't communicate with higher educated crowd or audience the same way. You need to adjust and see who your audience is and how you need to adjust your message and communicate. So the people is another pillar. The last and most important one is you need to think, you need to feel, you need to do in communication model. Think, feel, do model is pretty straightforward if you look at it this way. When entering a communication event, it is very important to consider that other people are involved in that conversation or communication. Think about the phrasing in terms of the receiver's mental filters. What I say is not necessarily understood exactly, or people might understand through the way that they filter messages. So you need to be aware of the mental filters that happen. You need to strategize the timing, the location, and you need to strategize that what exactly you would ideally want the other person to think, what exactly you want your audience to feel, and what do you want them to do, for example. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching.